Hi folks, it's Andy. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to this week's Kendo rant. Fantastic questions for you today. We've got loads of them, as you can probably see on this side of the screen. Bit of a different setup today, okay? I'm trying something a little bit new with things, so we're going to have to see how it all plays out and if it works well or not. Apologies if not. We'll see. If not, I'll try and make it better for next time. I hope you enjoyed last week's Halloween episode as well. Let me know in the comments down below. Before we jump into these questions, though, don't forget to support the channel by, you know, how to like, share, subscribe, all that sort of thing. And ring the Kendo bell after you've subscribed. You've got to ring the Kendo bell because it's proven science. The science is indeed settled that on this, if you ring the Kendo bell after clicking subscribe, you will exponentially improve at Kendo. And most importantly, if you enjoy the videos that I put out, if you gain any value from them whatsoever, don't forget to do your shopping at KendoStar.com. That's my website, of course, that provides fantastic, amazing, wonderful Kendo equipment. KendoStar.com, with the best in the business. If you don't believe me, check out our ratings, and yeah, you'll hear more about that later. Right, let's get into these questions. Hi, I got as a present a long men chichikawa and pair of 8 shakuhimo. Any recommendations on how to tie them? I've been looking for a good tutorial. So the regular way of tying the men himo, the strings that tie up your men, and the chichikawa is 2 chichikawa at the side, and then you wrap them around in the standard way. There is another way to do it using a long chichikawa that goes through the top, and then you need longer himo, and that's the 8 shaku himo. I haven't got a tutorial on that so far. I saw that in the group somebody posted a video to a tutorial of that, so check that out. Definitely watch that. That is correct. I had a quick look at it myself, and that is the correct way of doing it. I don't tie my men that way myself. I don't really like that way of doing it, but yeah, if you check out that video, it's definitely worth it, and maybe in the future, when I get a chance, I'll do my best to do one as well. Next one, not really a question, more of a request. Can you post more Jordan stuff, videos, article information? I want it all. Well, I do post a lot of Jordan stuff all the time on the KendoStar blog. So make sure you check those articles out every day because there's lots of Jordan stuff in there. I will make a video at some point about Jordan, more specifically. Definitely go and watch the video I've done of the 6th Dan grading in Jordan as well, the video analysis, because I think that's a really, really good example of fantastic Jordan. So yeah, go and watch that. Right, hi Andy, I've recently been advised by a couple of teachers to have both arms, including the left arm, straight at the end of the cut. This results in the right shoulder blade winging out and is something for injury reasons I must avoid. And I can see it risking tendonitis too. Though it's obvious to see extra reach one can gain with this method. Other high grade teachers I've seen do not have a straight left arm at the end of the cut and a not fully straight right arm, but still make good effective cuts. The reach is gained by having relaxed shoulders and using body rather than the arms to gain distance. What are your thoughts on the two methods? Which would you teach and why? Your arms should be extended at the point of the cut. Now I've got this new camera crop. It's not easy to see, but when you make the strike, both arms are extended out. Now here's the big mistake that lots of people make. The right shoulder should be slightly in front of the left shoulder at the point of the strike. In fact, when you're in Chudan, your right shoulder is slightly in front of the left one. Your hips should be square, but your right shoulder should be slightly in front, because at the end of the day, your arms are the same length, but your right hand goes in front of your left hand. So it's natural to stand with the right shoulder in front. Then when you swing, bam, like that, you don't need to wing any shoulder blades out or anything like that. Your right shoulder slightly in front. And yeah, both arms are straight at the point of cutting. I'm trying to get on the camera so you can see. Yeah, both my arms are straight when I make the strike, and I think that's the correct way. But yeah, you don't let your shoulder blade wing out or whatever. I don't really know exactly what you mean by that, but still, like I say, the point is you can't try and keep your shoulders square and then try to do both. Both arms straight. That won't work. Your right shoulder has to come forward slightly, and it should be resting slightly forward when you're in your kamae as well. Next one. Hi, Andy. I recently have been advised by a couple of teachers to have... Oh, that's the same question. I've copied it twice. Next one. How are the players in the 7th, 8th Dan Taikai and the Tozai Taiko selected every year? So every year there is a All Japan 8th Dan Championships. And there's a Tozai Taiko, which is the East versus West Championships, and they are organised by the All Japan Kendo Federation. Recently as well, there has been the All Japan 7th Dan Championships that's been privately organised. It's not part of the All Japan Kendo Federation. In any case, I believe for all three of those, it's the 8th Dan Senbatsu Taikai. So senbatsu means selected or invitational. So they're invited to participate. There's not, to my knowledge, there's no qualifying rounds. They're selected by the organisers to participate in those tournaments. Next one. What is the Ember Taikai of Tokyo? What do you need to participate in? I don't think there is an Ember Taikai of Tokyo. I think you might be confusing it with the one of Kyoto. So it's the Kyoto Taikai or the Zen-Nihon Kendo Ember Taikai, which is called the Kyoto Taikai. It happens in Kyoto, and it's a huge festival of Kendo where the sort of highest grade Kendo teachers congregate and participate in Ember GI, so Ember matches. And in that, there is just one match. Each person has one match. It's not a tournament. And it's more of a demonstration to the public, which is generally other Kendo practitioners of high level Kendo. You need to hold the rank of Renshi, which is a shogo, which you can get after you have 6th Dan. Okay, next one. What are the advantages of doing Jodan? I know it has some disadvantages like leaving yourself more open to certain strikes and an added Kote strike becomes available. I just want to know if there's a trade-off of pros and cons and if there are things that would make learning to use Jodan worth it. Also, I was wondering if you've read the books, the book 5 Rings by Miyamoto Musashi and the Life-Giving Sword by Yagyu Munenori. Do you think reading these books could be beneficial to someone's Kendo? Okay, so the advantage of doing Jodan is most of the waza is katate waza, it's one-handed waza. You use the left foot forward, so you have much more reach, so you can attack from much further away. And it's very difficult for a Chudan player to engage with because they don't have the contact with your shinai, so they can't have that sort of conversation of seme that they would with other Chudan players. And of course it's unusual, so lots of Chudan players aren't used to practicing against Jodan, so indeed they struggle with it. In terms of whether you know, learning to use it, unless you're practicing an awful lot, sort of more than 20 hours a week, I probably would concentrate your time on learning the Chudan more. Would be a better use of your time. In terms of the books, the book 5 Rings, yes, I have read that, and I haven't read the Life-Giving Sword. I did recently listen to the fantastic audiobook of Hagakure by is it Yamamoto Tsunetomo or something like that, translated by Alex Bennett. Fantastic. That was really, really good. And yeah, I do think there's a benefit to have from those books, but more so later in your Kendo progression. I read the book 5 Rings like when I was like Nidan or something like that, and yeah, I didn't get anything from it that was particularly useful at that point. But reading the Hagakure recently, I did actually get a lot from that. And I've talked a lot about the concepts that are talked about in those books, especially something like Hagakure, that's like about and how Kendo can help you become a better person, in a video that I've done called How Kendo Makes You a Better Person. So if you haven't seen that, go and watch it, because it's a really popular one, and I think there's some important stuff in it. Next one. Hi Andy, what's your opinion on Jissengata style Borga from your point of view as a Borga supplier and a serious competitor? I don't massively like it so much, and you'll find on KendoStar we don't really go down that Jissengata route too much. We do have some more kind of Borg sets that are more competition focused. Stuff like the Victory series, which is the previous line has finished now, but we've got a new version of that coming in the new year. And stuff like the Kamui are really good if you're a serious competitor because they're not heavy. What Jisengata means is for a match. But the problem is there was this trend of Jisengata Borgu coming up in Japan where the Borgu was getting thinner and thinner and thinner and lighter and lighter and lighter. And of course it wasn't protective at all. And it got to the stage where also things like the Mendari were getting really, really short. The Kote batons were getting really, really short. And they were taking all the padding out of the kote so that it didn't really feel like you were wearing kote. And of course it was easy to move in them. And yeah, I have experience using them. I used to work for companies that were very big on pushing those sorts of Borg sets. But yeah, I haven't gone down that route because, as I expected, last year the All Japan Kendo Federation started to regulate against Borgu like that. The Borgu's there to protect you. There's no need for a protective Borgu to be heavy and cumbersome anymore. So you'll find that like the Borg sets that we make at KendoStar, although we focus on making sets that are protective and comfortable as well as durable, we don't use any heavyweight materials. So they're perfectly useful in Shiai as well. And I've used pretty much... Well, I've used the Vanguard and I've used many of the sets. I've even used the Vanguard Prime, which is the predecessor to the Myrmidon, which is our most protective one. I've used that in Shiai because it's perfectly light enough for you not to feel like you're encumbered by it. So yeah, I don't think we need to push down that super Jisengata style Borgu anymore. It never lasts very long. It hurts when you get hit with it, and before long they're going to stop you using it in Shiai anyway. So if you are someone that's getting into competition, I advise against going after something that's particularly marketed as a Jisengata or a Shiai or Borgu, because at some point you're not going to be happy with it for one reason or another. Next one, my sensei has told me in early practice not to bash, focus on tenuichi, and that if the helmet is moving on the opposing kendoka, that means I'm striking too hard. Yeah, it does. Okay, so I've been working on this. However, there's a visiting sensei from Japan at our dojo. When I'm across from him during Kihon Kirikaishi, he absolutely crushes my skull with his strikes, with his men strikes. I have pain and a frontal headache for hours when I get home. I think he might have given me a concussion. Another younger dojo member told me that it caused him to be tearful and it was so bad for him. I feel in a real straight course. I think I should say something to my head sensei about the visitor, but I don't want to be looked at as a sissy or a complainer. He'll only be with us for a few more weeks, so maybe I should wait it out. What do you think? Thanks heaps. Okay, so I remember following up on this because you said this was a sensei from Japan, and I remember asking you how old they were and what grade they were, and you said you weren't sure what grade they were, and they're in their sort of 30s. So this isn't like an old sensei or an older sensei that's like a high grade. This is probably somebody that's come back to Kendo whilst they're on a business trip or something like that. So there's loads of people like that, and clearly they're doing something wrong if it's causing you this amount of pain. Just because they're from Japan doesn't mean that they're doing it right. Okay, that's really important to note. Okay, I recommend, if it's causing you pain, if you hit someone and their men moves, you're definitely hitting too hard, first of all. But if it's causing you pain, I recommend the first thing is talk to your head sensei, ask his advice or her advice, and find out what they suggest. Potentially even bring it up with the person, or if that's a bit awkward, I'd show that it was painful. So like when he hits you, I'd be like, ooh, like kind of thing, and so they could see that it was painful. It's not being a sissy or a complainer at all to do this. If this is causing you pain after practice, that is not correct, and it needs addressing. And if anything, if if the guy seems quite laid back or nice, you don't, and you're worried about the English, because you did mention that he couldn't speak much English. Tell him that itai means it hurts. Yeah, say itai like that, and he'll get the idea. And yeah, he should stop, hopefully. But like I say, tell him. I think you should speak to your sensei about it, because that's not good. Next one, following up on my question in last week's post about women's representation in Kendo media. Thanks. So you posted last week, just after I'd finished filming, highlighting a post in the ladies only Kendo group or something, which obviously I'm not a member of, about women's representation in Kendo media. And it's a fantastic subject. It really is, and it means an awful lot to me. So I've decided to make a separate video. I already filmed it yesterday with my wife. And it's a kind of conversation video where we talk exactly about the post. We read the post out and we talk about the issues that are raised. And we also address it from our point of view, where the issue is, of course, is that women are very underrepresented. I can do English. Underrepresented in Kendo media, stuff like Kendo magazines, DVDs, stuff like that. There's not many DVDs and stuff like that, but specifically the magazines. And as the Kendo show is a Kendo media outlet, it is something that I do think is an issue. And another thing that we address in the video that we filmed yesterday isn't just our thoughts on that, but also we tried to highlight some really inspirational Kendoka who happen to be female, which we would like to see get more attention. So we use that as an opportunity in a way to do that. And I'll make, I think you'll find on the KendoStar blog, when I often post videos of great Kendo Shiai and stuff, you'll find a good balance of male and female Shiai. And that isn't something I particularly do consciously. I just pick out stuff that I really like and put it up there. But I'll probably make an effort, sort of starting from next week, to start highlighting some of the players that I mentioned in the video that I filmed yesterday via that medium as well. So you'll start to look at, you'll be able to look out for them, and I'll start to bring them to the forefront also. That video, like I say, we filmed it yesterday. My wife was very reluctant to be on camera, but I managed to convince her. And we filmed it yesterday. It's all edited. It's even uploaded. It's just waiting for me to hit the button on that. So that'll probably be coming out next week. Okay, so make sure you watch that. It's about a 45-minute long video, though, so make sure you've got some time to watch it. Hi Andy, for 2 years now we're teaching Kendo to children from 6 years old to 10 years old, fully dressed in KendoStar. Yeah, what else? Thank you very much. Is there somewhere available in English some sort of ultimate guide to teach children, exercise requirements, etc.? Okay, in Japanese if easy to understand, such as the Kendo tips and drills from George McCall. Thanks very much. So this is something I've thought about a lot. It's something I've thought about an awful lot. I was heavily involved in teaching kids from 6 through to 18 in Japan, and rather successfully. I was part of a teaching team that was able to produce quite some really good results. We won quite a few tournaments. One of the lads that I was helping teaching, he actually won the high school tournament in Fukuoka. Against a very famous high school player. So it's something that I have been involved in a lot, but the problem I'm facing is there's a different culture to teaching Kendo to kids in Japan and teaching it outside of Japan, and I'm not sure how to approach that properly yet. You can't teach kids, at least I don't think you can teach kids in the same way here as you can in Japan, because the reason for them doing Kendo and staying in Kendo is different. Most kids in Japan didn't elect to do Kendo, they didn't choose to do Kendo, and they don't have the choice as to whether they can carry on or not. They're not supposed to enjoy it, it's not supposed to be fun, it's not supposed to be an extra curricular activity, it's supposed to be part of their education. So it's a very different point of view. Having said that, I do think that there's a good balance to be made, and it's something that I've thought about a lot. And I think at some point, as soon as I'm able to, I'll try and start to put some more videos out about how to teach and practice Kendo with children. I've got 2 daughters of my own. I'll see if I can get them to appear in it and sort of take you through ways you can help kids improve at Kendo. Yeah, but I'm still at the sort of drawing board phase of that, because I don't quite know where that balance is going to fall the best, because you've got to balance it between them enjoying it and them actually getting good at it. And if they don't get good at it, they'll get bored at it. Bored of it, sorry. So, but it's not fun getting good at it. That's the problem. So I'll figure that out, and we'll get something up. Any tips for Nidan grading? I'm not sure if it's been asked before, thanks. So yeah, make strikes with Kikentai no Ichi that fulfill the criteria of Yuko Datotsu. Wear your bogu correctly and perform correct reiho, and you will pass. That's it. Okay, and don't forget the kata. All right. Okay, make strikes with Fumikomi. You should be able to do that if you've got Shodan. But make strikes that fulfill the criteria of Yuko Datotsu with Kikentai no Ichi, and tie your bogu properly and do reiho properly, and you'll pass. Okay, that's all you need to do. Okay, it's the same up to Sandan, in effect. All right, it's the same up to 3rd Dan. The difference is that your opponent's better every time. All right, and they're trying to do the same thing. Is KendoStar going to have any Black Friday specials? And if so, should I hold out for another order before then? Well, good news for you. We have started our Black Friday sales early. They started yesterday, I think, and they're going through right to the end of November. So you've got until the 1st of December to benefit from our Black Friday sale. We've got some great deals to be had, to be honest. We've really cut some prices down. We've got cheap deals on Kote. We've got some good Shinai deals going on. We've got like 60% off the Gaia uniforms. We're still looking to sell the rest of our stock on that. And what's more is you're going to get double reward points on every order that you place from now until the 1st of December. So anything you order, you get double reward points. So yeah, it's huge. Go and do that. Next one. Any tips for starting Nito? Like, is there a book that can help you learn? Why do you want to start Nito? I mean, I don't. People often ask me this, but like, if you want to start Nito because it looks fun, and it's not going to be as fun as you think it is. You'll get better. You'll get better and have more fun if you stick at Chudan. To be honest, I wouldn't start Nito though until you're at least 3rd Dan. And I don't know of a book that can help you. If I were you, like, if I was going to start Nito, I would probably like wait until I got 7th Dan or 8th Dan. But realistically, I wouldn't advise anyone to start Nito until they at least 4th Dan. Now there are exceptions to that. I get that. Right, I get that. But my personal thing is that because most people start Nito before they're able to do the basics of Kendo, like make strikes with Kikentai no Ichi and Yuko Datotsu, and then they've got no control of Katate Waza, and then everyone they practice with is like, oh, I've got to practice with this guy. Okay? You don't want to be that guy, all right? You don't want to be that guy. Next one, Andy Fisher for President 2024. I don't think you'll like that as much as you think you might. Let's put it that way. compulsory kirikaishi for breakfast. Right, next one. What changes are there to the 2020 edition of the official guide for Kendo instruction compared to the previous edition? Is it worth getting the 2020 version? The only difference I can find in it is they've updated the Shinai regulations to come into line with the changes that they made last year, or the year before, was it? There's a few minor changes on where they measure the diameter of the Shinai. Otherwise, it seems to be exactly the same. So no, if you've got the previous edition, I don't think you need to get the new edition. To be honest, the same regulations are in the new rule book. So if you've got the old rule book, upgrading the rule book would be a better choice than upgrading the official guide. Though you don't necessarily need to do that anyway. You could probably get the regulations online for free. Last one. Hi Andy, Belgium is back in lockdown, therefore practices are suspended. To keep up some practice at home, I bought a Suburi Bokken, from an awesome company starting with a K. Well, I think we know where that is. I was wondering if you have plans to put a new Suburi video. Maybe it could be using other tools like Suburi Bokken or Kiri Bokken. Thanks. I don't have plans to do another Suburi video, to be honest, because I've done like 4 of them. You can do any of the Suburi exercises I've done with the Suburi Bokken or a Kiri Bokken. It doesn't need to be specifically special. But if you watch the Suburi at home, if you watch the Suburi Along and the Suburi Along version 2, the tips for Suburi, I've got like 4 or 5 videos about Suburi. Okay, and I don't want to just repeat them. If you're back on lockdown, the best thing to do is go to the Suburi Along video, and then the Suburi Along hard mode, I think I called it, because it's some harder ones, and do that every day or twice a day, and you'll get really good. I'm sure of it. That's it. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you gained from it. Like I say, new setup. Not sure how it went. We'll see. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that sort of thing. If I can remember what I'm supposed to say. Shop at KendoStar. That's the most important thing, because that's what keeps the channel alive. If these videos bring you any value whatsoever, shopping at KendoStar.com is what you need to do. You won't regret it. We're the best in the world. Thanks for joining me. See you all next time. Bye-bye.